A new government was elected in Guyana in May 2015. It promises a vibrant and economically prosperous nation through strategic investments in key sectors of the economy. The proposed economic program places emphasis on renewable energy, green technologies, and building resilience against the global warming and climate change. There will be detractors of these programs, and times the government may be tempted to reallocate resources and priorities to other areas of national development. But this video presentation urges the new policymakers to resist these competing pressures on public policy and instead optimize their political will to deliver on these promises and build resilience against global warming and adverse effects of climate change. Information from the 2015 election manifesto of the political parties that have formed the new government indicates that its vision is to transform the economy through rapid economic growth and development. Specifically, this involves, among other things, one, creating new economic centers away from the coastline areas. Two, construction of new and repairing existing major highways. Three, build hydropower facilities to facilitate industrial development. Four, develop crop and livestock agriculture in the intermediate savannas and hinterland areas. Five, support the rice and sugar industries. And finally, natural resources development, including the bauxite and forestry industries. These new economic activities will increase Guyana's carbon footprint unless initiatives are taken to introduce green technologies as well as climate smart policies to guide the development process. Climate smart policies enhance development, reduce vulnerability, and finance the transition to low carbon growth paths. A climate smart world is within our reach, but only if, at the global level, we act now, act together, and act differently than we have done in the past. But what does this mean at the national level for a country such as Guyana? In the most cogent way, this means that the new government must exercise the political will to pursue climate smart policies as it seeks to implement its development program. In particular, this political will should take expression in the following. One, act now, because postponing climate smart policies will be more costly in the future, and also because the country has had its own share of droughts, sea intrusions, and floods. Two, act together. That is, the government must convince all stakeholders, the opposition political parties, private sector, civil society, youths, NGOs, and so on, to cooperate in advancing climate smart policies and choices in the development process. And finally, act differently. The imperatives to adapt to climate change requires housing solutions, public and office buildings, sea defenses, transportation networks, and other infrastructures to be resilient to the debilitating effects of frequent and more intense natural disasters such as floods, droughts, hurricanes, sea level rises, and so on, which global warming will actually bring. To its credit, the new government appears to understand the immense risks that global warming and climate change brings, especially to a country like Guyana that is below sea level, is dependent on natural resources, and has all the characteristics of small island developing states. This presentation seeks to impress upon the new policymakers to exercise the political will to ensure that its development path is guided by climate smart policies.